guys all seen Cars? So to me, Cairo is like Radiator Springs, right? It was this amazing place. It was thriving. It's where everybody wanted to be and everybody was. And then it fell on really hard times, and it kind of got forgotten, right? All the people here think of us as Radiator Springs with Lightning McQueen showing up, right? We want to be like Lightning McQueen, who doesn't want to drive through Cairo to go to Missouri, but wants to stay in Cairo and bring it back to life. And so all of us have a part to play in bringing Cairo back to life. And by bringing Cairo back to life and turning it into what it should be, what it was, it's only going to help every other county in its neighboring region. So, Illinois is coming back. Financially, I feel like I'm so proud of the job I've done in my team in getting a handle on what other people thought would be an impossible task to do, which is pay down that bill backlog, eliminate our late payment interest penalties that had reached over $1 billion, and get us situated financially. And for the press, it's really important to acknowledge I did this before getting federal stimulus, right? There's so much misinformation out there about how it's only because Illinois got a bailout. Number one, I wouldn't call it a bailout when the state of Illinois sends, $20 billion to the federal government over the 5 years pre-pandemic that we don't get to keep in federal taxpayer money. So it's nice that for once we got some money back as a state. So it's not a bailout, and every other state in the nation went through the same horrors that we did with a global pandemic. And so every penny of that money from the feds, which was about $8.1 billion, is going to go to COVID-related expenses that we otherwise would not have had if we didn't get hit by a pandemic. But the bill backlog itself, the state's financial health itself, dramatically improved through, like I said, hard work, savvy financial management, fiscal discipline, and that's the road that we're going to continue to have. I had $60,000 when I started this job as in my rainy day fund. Today we have $750 million. So when we do get new money, guess what? We're not spending it. We're saving it. We're planning for a rainy day, and that is what we should be doing every day. And here in Cairo, I don't want to see rain. I want to see sunshine and ribbon cuttings and all kinds of awesome activity happening. And I'm telling you, I see it in my head. I too wish it was already here, but we're going to get there, and before I have more gray hair. Okay? Thank you so much. Any other questions? Yeah.
Yes, you mentioned not wanting other states to beat us to it. Has there been any talk of partnering with other states, since, as you pointed out, this would revitalize the whole region and not just Illinois?
Well, I think other states they have their own plans for their states, right? We're always in a competition with other states. But look, this site is unique, right? We've got the Ohio River, the Mississippi. There's a wonderful confluence here that is perfectly situated to be a leader when it comes to our waterways. And that's in Illinois. So, of course, we're super proud of that. And as a matter of fact, listen, I can't sit here as controller and tell you I want anything better happening for the other states. I'm not running for president, right? What I do want is to make sure that every single job possible is going to an Illinois resident, not a Missouri resident or a Kentucky resident, right? We want those jobs right here in Illinois, putting food on the table for our Illinois residents. So they can work out themselves. We'll worry about Illinois for them.
Yay!
The financial impact that this is going to have on Southern Illinois, not just this county and Cairo, but all of Southern Illinois as a whole?
We're Senator Cairo because I think
that might be.
and maybe the consultant, Lee, do you want to? Yeah. Todd, from a financial impact, can you walk us through some numbers of how this is going to impact the whole region?
Yeah, I can get you. Okay.
Thank you.
Come on up. Introduce yourself.
Todd Ely Consulting Group.
There
I've
you
been
go.
lead consultant on the project for the last 7 years. So the university was done several years ago, and it was based on a design that we've replaced with a better, more robust design. The old one was a $75 million capital investment. The new one is between $250 and $300 million, so substantially more. So the numbers that I give you today are based on the old study. But during just the construction phase, will be 675 construction jobs and spin-off jobs associated with that. It'll be over $110 million in economic impact to the region. $27 million of that is for actual payments to the construction workers that are there. Now, we'll do a new study once we begin phase 2 later this year, and the business plan and financial pro forma are done. We'll be able to put that into the computer model, and I fully expect those numbers to rise significantly. So those are the low end.
Then you're talking, right? You revitalize this area. It's not just about the port. You're talking grocery stores, all kinds of commerce, right? So there's so many other jobs that we're talking about, and more importantly, services to the people of this area. Why should someone in Cairo have to drive over that bridge to go get groceries, which, by the way, with the increased price in gas, is monumentally more expensive for them? It was already hard. Now it's almost crippling. And so these are the things that will change when we bring this port to life, right? It's not just about the activity on the waterway and around it. It's about how this is going to improve people's lives in Southern Illinois and make it a place where people want to move with their families, you know, grow some deep roots, and know that all of the amenities that they would need, big stores, little stores, restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations, right? Things that we take for granted up north, like all of that should be here. There's no reason not to. And that's why we're here, because we want to make it happen. And I do want to thank Governor Pritzker for his commitment to $40 million and the legislature for approving a $40 million grant that's going to be put to good use in making this project come to life. I'll make sure you guys get paid. All right? Any other questions?
I got one.
Yeah.
Percentage-wise, where are we stand on completion of this project? 5%?
So we've only, our office so far has released every payment that I've been able to, that anything that I have in my shop, and it's about $1.7 million out of the $40 million that's going to be associated to the project. In fact, my understanding is that some of the work came in under budget, so they didn't need to utilize the full $4 million that had been granted during the first portion of the project, which is really great news, right? But we're still in the early stages of it. This isn't a project that's going to happen overnight. And like I said, I know it's frustrating, but a lot of this work is work that gets done behind the scenes before the physical stuff is noticed by the public. You can imagine the amount of work and study that has to go into even preparing this site for what the ultimate shovel-ready projects are going to be. But we'll get there. I know it's frustrating. I do have a reverend here who can give more strength to prayer that this gets moving a little quicker. And we elected will do our part to make sure that happens as well. And thank you for your service, sir. You got it. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Yay! All right, you guys, that was the conclusion. I'm sorry about that. Every time you saw the camera move, it was a bee that was trying to get me. So I'm going to try and see if I can get another interview. Down in Southern Illinois, networking, you guys. All right. I'll give you another. All righty. See you later.